The time has come. Putting it off, and I've been waiting. This hood looks, maybe it looks cool from there. Get back a little bit, but man, when you get close on this thing, not pretty. So I farmed this thing out, not knowing what I was getting into, but essentially, I mean, everybody louvers stuff different, and I'm no professional. Side note, this hood was pretty rough, just like the rest of the car. What took place here is this whole center section was done out of 20 gauge or 18, and then it was welded into the hood, basically cut out, welded in. So that creates its own issues, warping and all that stuff in there. But the bad part is how clean the louvers are or not, and the alignment of them, just, it's not great. So a couple of them in here like this, maybe it's hard to see, but that one's way over that way. This one here, way over. That one there, the front, so on. Also the whole backs of them, really, really rough. It almost looks like it was cut with a cutoff wheel and then pressed. I don't know. Either way, it was cool at first, but it was driving me crazy. So I found a mint hood. It is really nice, and I'm afraid to cut into it, but I'm gonna cut into it anyway. This style louver is what our press does right here. You saw in another video. Standard 3-inch louvers. I'm gonna tighten up the spacing, kind of like the hood over here. I like the layout of it. All that stuff is good. I did install a little laser here, and that should hopefully help with alignments and all that stuff, since there's a whole ton of hoods. I got the little janky rolly stands. Those things are a huge help. But looking at this hood, I do like how it steps out, and I'm thinking about adding a 4th row here and going back with it. Plus there's a bunch of dead space back there, and the reason being is the inner bracing wasn't removed on this thing. Kind of see what's going on down there. I did my best to straighten it out, and it's savable, I think, but there's still a lot of work to do. But you can see where it was stopped there for the rear brace, and also right here, to add a 4th row, you'd have to get into that bracing there too. Probably could have been done, but yeah, I'm gonna go bigger, might as well. This is the minty one. This just came back from Metalworks in Eugene. It is perfect, no dents, no nothing. Great blank slate to work with. I've already started kind of laying out some stuff in here. My idea was to cut out this inner structure and pull it out, but what I think I'm going to do now is in here, if you can see them, we got a bunch of spot welds. I'm just going to drill out all these spot welds around here, take the whole inner structure out of it. It'll be a little bit noodly, but I think that'll be good, and then I can lay out as many louvers as I want and drop it back in, keep everything nicely aligned, and plug weld it back together like it never happened. So I'm gonna grab a couple sharp drill bits and get to work. Starting off with the 1/8-inch drill bit. The reason is I'm drilling all the way through. That way, when I put it back together, I can actually use 1/8-inch clecos on it. So then I got this hole saw cutter, drill bit cutter. That'll fit right in there, and then cut them out all the way. So I'm gonna go around, pilot drill all the spot welds I can see. Luckily, with this hood being so clean, it definitely makes it a lot easier. So here we go, I'm gonna drill. Bunch of holes. Let me bring you in here. Come on in. So 1/8-inch holes all the way around. Luckily this must have been a Friday shift car or something like that, because they didn't put as many spot welds in as they could have. Anyway, I'm gonna switch bits and start drilling them out, and hopefully the skin comes apart. bring you on in. So, nice and clean, coming back from acid dip. You can see in there. Good thing about acid dipping is it gets in everything. Right, Dane?
Yeah, nice and clean.
That was a good call, by the way. Dane's idea. Quicker. Yeah, way quicker. Yeah, I was gonna cut out the perimeter there. That would have mangled it for sure. But yeah, now we got all these spots here to plug weld. We even got a little spot welder we can add a couple extra in there. Sure. Whatever, yeah. So now, I went in and traced out where the other hood sits, so kind of see what I'm gonna do for layout here. So I'm gonna wipe this thing down so the Sharpie actually draws on it. Sorry, a little close. And get punching. That didn't take nearly as long as I thought it was going to. So thanks, Dane. Thanks, Max, also suggested it. I like to do it the hard way. So voice of reason. Broke out the laser beam again. So very important to have centered. Everything's based off of that. Before I go washing off a bunch of these Sharpie marks, I think I'm going to DA it, get it nice and clean, get it bare metal, get all this coating off it. That way, after it's all punched, make it a little bit easier than sanding down inside each one of those louvers prior to epoxying it. So I'm gonna sand it right now, and then I'll transfer lines on it, and then we start doing the layout. All right, gonna set up a DA, do some 120 grit on this bad boy. So that should get it nice and clean. Everything's sanded, so everything's in 120 right now. I didn't wipe it with acetone so that I didn't leave or wash off all my little marks. I don't know if you can see that or not, but when I originally traced everything out, it yeah, so I know where everything's at. Also put marks in the front or the back and the front, so I can blow a laser across that thing and then know where my center line is. Thinking ahead this time. Thinking a ton of louvers on this one. Unlike the last one, we're gonna go with 8 rows across. The other one has 6. If you got a louver press, you might as well do it. Let's start laying it out. So, got laser beams right here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that side there you can definitely see a little better. This one here is kind of, maybe if I raise it up, shoot it more down, but anyway, it give me a reference to put a straight edge on, and I'll pull a line, and then it begins. layout wise on here, basically it's about 1.5 inches between, and I do like that. I also like how these are stepped every other one. Doesn't really match the profile, but I think going straight across and back would look too blocky. Basically, we're going to do the same layout with one more starting back here, and then we'll take them back a lot further, I think, as well. We've got our center line figured out, so 3/4 on each side, and then we can start building off. So each one of the louvers are 3 inches, so then we'll add 1.5 inches, do 3 inches, 1.5 inches, 3 inches, and so on. And I'm not good at math, so, you know, wish me luck. I'm gonna use my math skills, or lack of, to get this sucker laid out. I'll put you on time lapse here. So this is gonna be pretty grueling for me. Got all the front to back lines, so this is all the rows that we will be doing. Eight exactly, so they're actually 4.5 on center, and if the math is correct, with the 3-inch louver, they'll give about 1.5 inches in between. Now we'll start laying out going across. So I'll measure the spacing off the other hood. Seems like a good spacing on it, and we'll start going lanes this way. Then all the intersections are what we line up on the louver press. Now we're going to measure for the spacing going this way, and I'll put you down here. Start with that. So the spacing on this is good, where they are consistent. Looks like these are all spaced out at 2 inches. That's easy enough. That's gonna make for a stack of louvers. Any guesses on how many this thing's gonna take? It's as good as mine. I don't know. We'll see when we see. So, starting at the front, this will be the very front one here, right at this intersection. We'll go 2 inches back on all of them. So I'll make a couple lines and we'll just start drawing a whole bunch of
Let's go. I was born to kill it. I was meant to win. I am down and willing, so I will find a way. It took a minute, now it didn't happen right away. When it get hot in the kitchen, you decide to stay. That's how it wins.
Some things are not adding up. So, got this all laid out here, and starting at the front, working my way back. 2 5/8 here, but on this side, it was off by about 1/8 of an inch. So if I'm measuring off this back edge here, this line going like this is actually good, but I'm thinking that this line up front here is crooked, and that's what I measured off of. So I think I'm going to delete this line here and start measuring from the back forward and try to keep it at least consistent off the back edge. I feel like this is a more consistent edge to measure off of anyway. So yeah, might be an 1/8 inch, but you know, I only want to do this twice. And that's what we came up with. You can see about a 1/4 inch difference over there. So everything is based off the back going forward. Fingers crossed. I hope that's the ticket. At this point, start laying the cross pieces there, and yeah, more drawing.
Stick a fork in the hater on my dinner plate. I walk into the fire like it's just a bit of flame. I switch my style up, watch the money pile up. I'ma get rich or die trying, want me switch lanes. I'm always getting better, I'ma be your fifth place. On this one, then fourth on the next. Third, second, first, third, fourth, with the best. She showing love, give me all the raw energy. Don't stop, go ahead, get it in. Jump, knock, let me in. Huff and puff and blow the house down. Raw energy.
That's gonna be a lot of louvers. So, yeah. Let's just go ahead and count. We'll count the long row here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So 22 in this row, and then -1 on all of them. So we'll just go ahead and, let's see, 22, 21, 20, 19. I'm gonna do some quick math. 164 louvers. What am I doing? That's a lot of louvers. This thing's gonna be Swiss cheese when we're done. No, I'm just kidding. It's gonna be awesome. I almost have enough room to put another little row back here. No, not gonna do it. Yeah, that should fill up real nice. So again, we start on the front there. We'll do 2, stagger back 1, stagger back 1, stagger back 1. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw on there so that I don't forget. That way I don't accidentally punch ones that I don't need. So, going like that, all the way back. I think we're ready. Ready for louvers. Easy, gentle, much lighter with all the guts cut out of it. But yeah, get this sucker set up on these little dangly guys here. It's actually worked pretty dang good, I have to say. They kind of help support as we run it through there. So I think I got this thing pointed the right direction. Go from the back in, and maybe I can start at the front. I don't know. I'll probably start this way and work my way that way. I don't know. I'm gonna wrap my brain around it, get this thing rigged up, and we'll be right back. Easier on that way. I know it's very fragile through there, so don't want to put a lot of pressure on it, but I'm going to try to get this thing squared up with the deal there to try to minimize the amount of stress on this there hood. Luckily we got the inner bracing pulled all back together, but definitely don't want any creases in it. I'm going to finish getting these things leveled out, and then we'll start punching here soon.